What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Series Roadblock. And so here we have Roadblock posed and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually run through his accessories really fast. Roadblock does come with his pulse rifle, which looks really nice. I do like the detailing on it. The silver looks really good. He also does come with a removable magazine for his pulse rifle. And then we do get a knife, which does look good. Doesn't have any paint on it, but it still looks good, and it does store in his vest. Other than that, we don't get any other accessories with Roadblock here. I would like the sidearm, but he has no place to really store his weapons, unfortunately. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually have a closer look at Roadblock. And so here we have a closer look at Roadblock, and I have to say that I'm not a fan of this particular paint app. On mine, it does look like his eyes are too close to each other, and you can see it kind of makes it look like he's a little bit cross-eyed, which other than that, I still think it's a really nice head sculpt. If the eyes were just a little more centered, I'd be perfectly fine with it. It also does appear that his beard isn't properly painted. Like, you can see some areas where some of the brown plastic is poking through, and that's kind of unacceptable coming from Hasbro, seeing as how they've done an amazing job on so many other paint jobs. I don't know why Roadblock here didn't get the same treatment. But overall, it's a really nice head sculpt, and I do like the way it came out. I especially like the beard. I would kind of wish that mine was painted a little bit better. You can see Roadblock here is completely bald, which that's no problem. Maybe he just likes having a bald head. We really don't know. But as far as the face goes, like I said, I like the face. I'm just not keen on the paint apps on mine, especially because it does look like mine is a little bit cross-eyed. Good head sculpt, bad paint application, unfortunately. So moving on to his costume, or his gear here, you can see we do have him with his combat vest, which I do have the second run of the G.I. Joe Classified series. I never picked up the first run. The main difference is that these have a more subtle military color scheme, where instead of having gold, they do have gunmetal, and their armor bits aren't really gold, and some of the colors have been toned down just a little bit. I think it works for Roadblock here. You can see he does have the G.I. Joe star right here. His vest would zip up right here, and then this would fold over. You can see his utility belt right here going along the vest. I do like the fact that he does have a scabbard right here for his knife, and the knife is removable, so if you don't want him with it in the vest, you can pull it out. And if you want him to store it, it does fit in nicely, and there's a nice little click in there, so you know you got it in all the way, so really do like that. We do have what I'm guessing is a communicator right here on his right shoulder. As you can see, it does have the blue outline on it. Here on this side we do have the red, but it doesn't look like the blue got painted all the way. You can see some of those areas do have the blue line running through them, while others don't, and that's a little bit of a bummer, to be quite honest, because overall the paint is very solid on Roadblock here, but I'm not really feeling these blue energy things that he has right here. But I love the green and silver that they went with, especially the brown right here in the back. It really does make his costume look military-esque. And I especially love the detailing that they put in here with the clips and the buckles. It looks exactly like you would expect a military vest to look like. Now, his arms are reused from the Amazon Roadblock that we had a look at, which I know this figure came out before that, but I'm reviewing this figure after the Amazon Roadblock, so he has those exact same arms. Everything is the same, from the butterfly joint to the shoulder to the bicep, the forearm, and even the gloves are the same, which I'm not at all against them reusing parts for the same character. It makes more sense. Now, this Roadblock does have a tattoo right here, where the Amazon exclusive Roadblock just had bare arms. This Roadblock has a lion tattoo right there on his shoulders, so really do like that. And then we do have his combat gloves right there. I especially love the color scheme for his pants here. I think it's a very solid color scheme, and this is the color scheme I was talking about when I was reviewing the Amazon exclusive Roadblock. I would have liked more muted tones like this. Really do like the pouches on this one. You can see that this one does have The pouch is a little more exposed because he doesn't have the sidearm right here. But it's looking really nice. I do like the texturing in the pants. That was one thing I always enjoyed about that figure. We do have the knee pad, which I think was not present on the Amazon exclusive one. If you can just bring that one out really quickly. Yeah, the knee pad wasn't present on the Amazon exclusive version, but it does fit with this character. You can imagine him kneeling down so he could use his pulse rifle. Really do like the detailing on the knee pad too. That's a really good little thing. I kind of wish that it had a little bit of paint apps. Maybe some of that green that we saw in his flak vest would have looked nice in this knee pad, but you can see it does go all the way around his pants right there. Then we go on to his combat boots, where you can see, if this was the first release, this would be like a gold color and it would stand out a little bit more. Here it's a little more subtle. I think I prefer these tones over those bright golds. It's a really good color scheme in my honest opinion. I would prefer the Joes have this more muted, down-to-earth color scheme than the gold armor that we saw them with earlier. And I do think it's the same, yeah, it's the same shins and the same feet from the Amazon Roadblock. So it's something we have seen before, but it still looks really good on this figure. There's not much more to say about him, so with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get him compared to other figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have Roadblock posed next to the Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Roadblock posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure in a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Roadblock posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And finally, here we do have the standard issued Roadblock posed next to the Amazon exclusive Roadblock. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually run through his articulation really fast. Roadblock here does have a hinge in the neck, which does let him look up and lets him look down. He does have some slight head pivot, so that is good, and then he does turn left and right. He does have a ball joint here at the neck, which does help with him leaning his head forward and giving him a little bit of movement back, but it's not the best we've seen out of the line. And it does provide some neck pivot, but not too much, so most of your pivot is just going to be on this top ball joint. He does have butterfly joints here in the shoulder. They're not the best that we've ever seen in a figure, but they do work. They move forward and back. Arms do go out to the side really nicely. They go all the way around. We have bicep swivel, double bend here at the arm, giving us better than 90 degrees. Then we do have a swivel and up and down hinge here at the, well, in and out hinge at the wrist. Up and down would be going this way. But we do have an ab crunch in this figure. Now, I know the original Roadblock, his ab crunch was a little bit hindered because of how thick the vest was. On this version, it does appear like it's a softer material because you can see it actually does bend with him. So I'm guessing that Hasbro reworked this vest just to make it work a little bit better, and it does pivot side to side. We have a nice ball joint here at his legs. We do have ball hinge hips, so they do drop down if you do need them to, and that does help with articulation going out to the side and forward and back, so I do like that. We do have a thigh swivel up high, which works perfectly fine. We have a double bend here at the knee, works great, gives us better than 90 degrees. Boot swivel, hinge on the ankle going back, and not so much forward because of his armor. And then we do have rocker ankle. So overall, Roadblock here has some pretty good articulation, and I do like the updated vest, which makes it easier to pose him around. So that is one good addition to having the reissued Roadblock. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have Roadblock posed for my final thoughts, and overall I really do like the way this figure came out. He does have some issues in regards to the paint. I don't think I got a really good version that has good paint applications because the face does seem a little bit off, and on his left shoulder the red is missing some of the blue on the inside of those lines. But other than that, I still think this is a really solid figure. I absolutely love the way the pulse rifle looks, and there's one thing I'm kind of upset about, is that they changed the color of the pulse rifle. I would have much rather have the original version of the pulse rifle with the Redeco version of Roadblock here. This version we do get a redecoed pulse rifle, which does look good. I do like the color scheme on it. I do like the really dark gray transitioning into the metallic blue. That looks really fantastic, almost like a railgun. But I kind of like that red color scheme a little bit more than just the drab gray that we have right here. I don't quite understand why his rifle has a removable magazine. That doesn't seem like it's something that you would think about, but he does have it. I do like the fact that he can store his knife. Now, I think one thing that he is missing is some form of sidearm. Like maybe a holster with a gun in it would have been really nice. I think that's one thing that this figure is lacking, and that is accessories. He has a hole in his back for some kind of bling or backpack, but we don't get that with this or this Roadblock, which I am a little bit upset about. Roadblock here is still a very solid figure in terms of sculpt and detail, and he'll look great in any G.I. Joe classified display. Now, if you are looking for Roadblock here, I really haven't found any G.I. Joe classified series on the shelves. The only one I've ever seen has been Lady Jane, and I already have her, so it doesn't make sense for me to pick her up. But I do like the fact that these are really solid figures, and the distribution has just been a little bit lackluster. I did pick up my Roadblock from Big Bad Toy Store, so if you are looking for the redecoed Roadblock, definitely check out Big Bad Toy Store to get the entire case, or just Roadblock if he's the one you're really after. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other G.I. Joe videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.